much. We're going to talk more about the specifics about the Chilean economy. Manuel Suarez, professor at American University, joins us once again on Biz Asia America on the set here. This election surprised some people. What do you think was the tipping point when the voters went to vote? What did they think about?
Well, they were basically thinking about economics, but there has been a very strong campaign about Chile being one of the most, one of the countries with the worst distribution of income and wealth.
Inequality.
Inequality. Now, however, bear in mind that inequality has been the result of a very fast economic growth, which has brought poverty down from levels of 50% to under 10%. So just like in China, you were very equal 30 years ago, but everyone was poor. Now you are very unequal, but you have billions of people who are not poor anymore.
We've talked about this quite a bit as people move from being poor to the working class to the middle class, is that the needs change. What they want from the politicians and what they want from their country changes over the course of your life as you move up sort of that social and economic ladder. What's changed?
What's changed is, to some extent, society and the relationship with the government. Bear in mind that Piñera's government is the first center-right government since the dictatorship. All the previous governments after the Pinochet was out have been center-left. They have a much closer control over the left wing of society, while the left wing of society was ready to confront Piñera, particularly on education matters.
I mean, Michelle Bachelet has, I mean, the lead is substantial. The win is substantial. There's obviously promises that are going to be made. My question is, how much of those promises can be kept?
Well, she has promised things that she can keep, like increase the income tax rate, increase corporate taxes, do a tax reform. She has the votes for that. What's going to be far more difficult is to modify the Constitution. The Constitution that was a product of the Pinochet era has checks and balances, very much like the US Constitution, which is very, very difficult to change. And she doesn't have the votes for that. She doesn't have enough votes for the threshold that is demanded by the Constitution.
So what happens if she can't make the changes that she's been talking about? I mean, there's some things that she can do, though, right?
Oh, yes. She will do changes in education. Unfortunately, I think that she's going to go for the option of free university education, which is a terrible policy. It's a terrible policy because it ends up subsidizing the rich rather than the poor. What the policies have been that Chile has followed over the last 25, 30 years are equal opportunity of education and fellowships and subsidies for those that cannot afford it. They should continue in that road, but improve the system and deal. But there's a very strong ideological content in this debate.
From a global perspective, I mean, for most of our viewers, we're looking at the Chilean economy, we're looking at a change of leadership now, we're looking at proposed changes. I mean, there's a lot of factors here that we don't know the answer to right now. How should we look at the economy going into the next couple of years in the midst of all of this?
With great confidence. The proof of the success of the reforms in Chile was that when the left-center governments replaced Pinochet, they didn't change the basic underpinnings. They tweaked the model here and there, which is what Bachelet is going to do. She's a very, very intelligent and very resourceful woman. Bear in mind that when her family left Chile after the coup, her father was military, they fled to Germany, East Germany. So she knows how it is to live in a communist system. And she's not very comfortable with that. She's very careful. So she's going to undertake gradual changes. And the markets should be calm. And I foresee that Chile will continue to grow.
All right. We're going to continue to monitor this. Professor Manuel Suarez, American University, thank you very much for your analysis on this change of leadership.